if I see any kid with black eyes, I just know that is the devil and I'm a bolt. Whether or not they really are, I don't want to find out, you know? Hey guys, it's Sharon. If you've missed this, and I literally say this in all my videos that I've made in October, I am making nothing but spooky videos in October, and this is actually part of a brand new series that I am doing this month in honor of Halloween. So basically, this whole entire week, I am putting out videos that I've never really done before, but they're all very spooky and creepy. Like I've done Unsolved Mysteries, I've done Reading Your Ghost Stories, and now I'm doing this one, which is talking about the scariest urban legends and myths that we have or haven't heard of yet. So if you would like to see more videos like this, give us a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. If you want to be in my videos or have a say in them, definitely follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. And of course, if you would like to see more, definitely subscribe for more. Now, I'm not usually one that makes these videos. This is my first time really making a lot of spooky content in October. So if you really have been enjoying this, please let me know because I've been enjoying making them and I'm very excited to get into this. Even though it sounds very scary, but whatever. Go grab your spooky snacks, your spooky tea, your spooky blanket, and let's get into this. The first legend I want to talk to you about is probably the first one I have ever heard in my life, and it is because of Scooby-Doo. That is the chupacabra. So this is a legendary creature in parts of the Americas. The name literally translates to goat sucker. It's this creature that's supposedly the size of a small bear with a row of spines reaching from its neck all the way down to its tail. Some say it's reptile-like and said to have this leathery or scaly green grayish skin and hops like a kangaroo. Although another description of it claims that it's a lot more like a wild dog, but mostly hairless with the same pronounced spine and also very pronounced eye sockets and fangs. Also, claws. The first reported attack happened in March of 1995 in Puerto Rico. So 8 sheep were discovered dead, each with 3 puncture wounds in their chest, and they were completely drained of blood. A few months later, in August, an eyewitness named Madeline Tolentino reported seeing the creature in the Puerto Rican town of Canovanas, where as many as 150 farm animals and pets were reportedly killed. Initially, it was suspected that these killings were done by a satanic cult, and later more animal killings were reported around the island. Each were reported to have its body bled out dry through a series of small circular incisions. Talk about creepy and suspicious. The next one I think is probably one of the most famous, especially in Hispanic and Latino culture, and that is La Llorona. So this is a Hispanic legend that says this woman by the name of Maria was unloved by her husband. He loved their daughter and son the most, and she even caught him with another woman. In return, she drowned both of their children in a river out of grief and anger, and then immediately regretted it and drowned herself too. She was refused entry into heaven until she found the souls of her children. So now she wails and she cries and she takes children, hoping that she finds the right souls to get her entry into heaven. Once she realized they aren't her own children, she drowns them in the same river where her and her children drowned. She is heard weeping for her children, and that is why she was given the name La Llorona, which translates to the weeping woman. And it is said that if you hear her crying, it could bring unfortunate events or even death. People who have claimed to see her claim she appears at night or in the late evening by rivers or lakes wearing a long white dress and a veil. Among her wails, she is said to cry out, "Ay mis hijos," which translates to, "Oh my kids, oh my sons." It is said she also cries out, "Donde están mis hijos," which translates to, "Where are my kids, where are my sons?" And the reason I'm saying sons and not son and daughter is because hijos in Spanish means sons, or it can just mean all the kids. It just has the masculinity overall for it, if that makes sense. Either way, super creepy. There's been lots of movies made about her, and you know what? Lesson learned, don't go near rivers at night. Now, the Goat Man of Maryland is this legend about a half goat and half man creature that has the head and legs of a goat, but the torso of a man. The Goat Man terrorizes lovers, chases teens, and decapitates dogs. He yells, squeals, and makes goat noises. For some, he is a lonely, angry goat hoarder who went berserk after finding his goat murdered by a group of pranking teens. For others, it's an axe-wielding goat man that was once a scientist who worked worked in the Beltsville Agricultural Research Center. The tale says he was experimenting on goats until one experiment went wrong and now he is half goat. He then began attacking cars with an axe and roaming the back roads of Beltsville, Maryland. It's said to be 6 feet tall, hairy, and walking upright on its hind legs. Now in 1971, local residents blamed the goat man for the death of a decapitated dog. And today, the beast preys on couples who make out on Lover's Lane. So no making out, kids, especially if you live in Maryland. Now the black-eyed children. When I asked you guys if I was making spooky videos, what would you like me to talk about? This came up a lot. So the black-eyed kids, not the black-eyed peas, are this legend of paranormal creatures that resemble kids between the ages of 6 to 16. They have pale skin and black eyes, like completely black eyes. They are reportedly seen hitchhiking or begging, or even encountered on the doorsteps of residential homes. These children don't look threatening, and they will be very persistent about getting into your car or into your house. Once they do, then you notice that their eyes are purely black from lid to lid. Anyone who encounters them has felt this sudden, overwhelming sense of dread. They typically appear normal though. Sometimes their clothes are outdated, and in extremely unusual cases, people have reported them with talon-like feet. Some people believe they are aliens, while demonologists believe they are children of the devil himself. And if you let them in, you are allowing the devil to enter your life. I just realized I never lit my candle. Hold on. Most sources say that this originated back in 1996, all from a Texas reporter named Brian Bethel. He wrote about two boys that came up to him while he was in the car, and they asked him for a ride to the movies, but they asked him without making eye contact. When Brian rolled down his window, he felt immediate dread and sorrow. He kept making excuses about why he couldn't drive them, and they just seemed to get more and more upset about it. He claims that they kept mentioning that they needed permission to enter his car. Then he finally noticed their eyes, and Brian bolted. And if I were Brian, I too would have bolted. If I see any kid with black eyes, I just know that is the devil, and I'm a bolt. Whether or not they really are, I don't want to find out, you know? I hope I'm pronouncing this one right, but this is the legend of Tiki Tiki, or Teke Teke. This is a Japanese urban legend, and it's about the ghost of a young woman or a schoolgirl who fell onto a railway line, and a train came and sliced her body in half, killing her. She is an onyo, or a vengeful spirit, who lurks in urban areas and around train stations at night. Since she no longer has a lower body, she travels on her hands or her elbows. Since she is dragging her upper torso, she makes a scratching or teke teke sound when doing so. If she encounters an individual, she will chase them and slice them in half at the torso, just like it was done to her. Now, creepy enough and similarly enough, there is the story of Kashima Riko, or Reiko. She is said to have been brutally beaten by a group of men and basically left for dead. No one heard her crying out, and she fell onto the train tracks while trying to find and get away for help. Again, train came and killed her, cutting her in half. Legend says that she haunts bathrooms asking people if they know where her legs are. If someone responds with an answer that she doesn't like, she will rip or cut off their legs. Individuals can survive this encounter by replying that her legs are on the Meishin Express, or by responding with the phrase Kamen Shinin Ma, which translates to mask death demon, or the phonetic root of Kashima's name. Also creepy is Krampus, who is basically the evil doppelganger of Santa Claus. This is extremely popular in Europe, and he is half goat and half demon. Krampus scares naughty children into behaving better, and he does this by beating them with birch branches or even hauling them off to hell in sacks. Sometimes either eating or drowning them too. He shows up on December 5th, which is known as Krampus Nacht. I hope I said that right. That translates to Krampus Night. This tradition is often believed to have started when the Moors were invading and raiding, and in doing so, they would take locals from these European towns and sell them into slavery. All I know is evil Santa Claus doesn't sound good to me. There's also the Jaganger. Please excuse my pronunciation. This is a Scandinavian legend. When translated, it means walking after death. Traditionally, these creatures are like a ghost and a zombie hybrid. It has a corporeal form like a zombie, but still possesses its mind and its memories like a ghost. They're created created when a dead person has unfinished business, or if they were killed violently like a murder or a suicide. This dates back to the Vikings, and a more recent belief claims that these jajangers can pinch someone while they're sleeping, and that pinched person will then be marked for sickness or death. So they're basically infecting them. Zombie ghost, that's a no from me. Kind of similar to that, but not so much, is the night marchers in Hawaii. So these are the spirits of ancient Hawaiian warriors that are said to roam the islands at night. In life, these warriors apparently traveled at night to protect people so sacred that the common man was never allowed to look at them. Breaking that rule meant death. The night marchers' job wasn't to terrorize people. It was just simply to protect the most sacred and high-ranking chiefs. The night marchers traveled at night to show mercy and spare harm to commoners. They carry torches, march to the sound of drums, and give a warning by sounding a conch shell. If you're riding the path of the night marchers trail, legend says you must strip naked and lie on the ground face down. You can't look at them or you'll die violently. If you're lucky enough to share a bloodline with one of these warriors, you'll supposedly be saved. So basically, if someone in your family was a night marcher and you accidentally looked at them, you were safe. But even more scary is probably the most famous legend of them all, and I know you've heard about this one, and if you haven't, I mean, good for you, but you've probably been living under a very big rock. That is Bloody Mary. I never knew this, but Bloody Mary is actually a legend that is based off a real person. Bloody Mary is Mary Tudor. I hope I said that right. She is the first ruling queen of England. She wanted to return England to the Catholic Church and persecuted over 300 Protestants, giving her the name Bloody Mary. She also wanted to have a baby very badly and is even said to have had a phantom pregnancy. So this is when a person is so determined to become pregnant that they actually trick their body into believing they are pregnant. She had several false pregnancies and died childless. There's several versions of the Bloody Mary legend, and one being that young women would walk upstairs backwards, holding a candle and a hand mirror in a darkened house. In the mirror, they would either see their future husband's face or the face of the Grim Reaper. If they saw the Grim Reaper's face, that meant they would die before marrying. A second version says if you chant Bloody Mary several times into a mirror, with the lights off and with candles, you would see a woman covered in blood. If she was holding a dead baby, you were fine. But if she wasn't, she would come after yours. A third version claims that you chant her name 13 times, again in the mirror and with candles, lights off, and the apparition that appears can either be friendly or evil, but still covered in blood. She may scream at people, curse them, strangle them, steal their soul, drink their blood, or scratch their eyes out. So it sounds like you got a 50-50 chance of her either being really nice or you dying, basically. After hearing all these legends and myths, good luck sleeping, because I definitely had a tough time after researching all this. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. Like I mentioned, this is part of a new series that I'm doing for October of this year. If you want me to do it again next year, also let me know. I have a lot of spooky videos out already, and I have a lot more coming out because I will be uploading a brand new video every day this week up until Halloween. So I got you covered, sis. Now, shout out the day goes to Shyla. Thank you so much. If you would like to be shout the day, just follow me on my Instagram and stay active. And of course, like I have mentioned, I do have other spooky videos that aren't maybe as spooky as this. They're on my channel. I also just make other revealing secrets videos, reading embarrassing stories, all that good stuff. So if you definitely want to see more of that, go binge. But anyways, if you do want to see more, definitely subscribe for more. And all that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!